blessed art thou amongst women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
Hello, 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 what ho! Welcome back to another exciting adventure of The Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finley. What you're seeing here is a mirage. But what I want you to think about is if... Okay, let me start over. In the middle of the frame, directly above the water, is the mirrored sky. Okay? Now, I wish that I could wipe away... Actually, I think I can. I think I just figured out how. Let me try. Okay, so now what I did basically was just removed the landscape in the background so that all you would have is sky. And I've talked about this numerous times on my channel. I've just never taken the time because I'm lazy to try to figure out how to do this as a PNG, but I just did this all myself. With a little help from a YouTube tutorial that was awesome, and I'm going to try to remember to put it in the description because this tutorial that I just found, I've never seen before, so it might be new. I didn't check to see when it was published. But anyway, it was the fastest way to remove all the background. Anyway, so this image that you're looking at right now is the, in my opinion, this is my rewriting of the narrative right now. This is what sailors would see out on the ocean. They would see nothing but sky behind an apparently floating image of a boat. So then they would think that the limit to the water was Earth curve. That's where the Earth curves away, and the boat looks like it's floating in the sky. So then they just drew this knee-jerk reaction, and then that's when the science began to be built. And then they start, well, then how can this happen? And the light bends this way, and the light bends this way, and it bends down and projects it up. Blah 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 blah. All that bullshit. Okay, so let me regain my thoughts and come back. Yeah, I don't know if I regained my thoughts on what I was thinking then, but what I'm thinking right now is, now that I put the insert in there, listen very carefully. If you knew there was land that you could see behind this fishing boat in a mirage, right? So imagine you're out on the ocean. This is the open ocean, but in the distance there's an island. And you can see that island just like this is the island. You're looking at the island on the ocean, right? This is what I'm talking about. You're on the ocean. You can see that there's a boat that looks like it's floating in the sky. But then you see land beyond it. No one's ever going to think, oh, where that water stops is the edge of the earth. If you were to see that image, right? That's why you have to take terrestrial refraction in this discussion alongside this, because when you're looking out in front of you, you know that there is mountains there or whatever, but yet you see a mirage. Well, you know that where that mirage starts, that's not where the earth ends, because you can see mountains beyond it. Right? So you have to take into account the entire world isn't this stupid. There's no way that you could like if some sailor was sitting at the bar with another sailor and saying, "Oi, you know what I saw today? It blew me mind." Whatever, right? I saw a boat floating in the sky. I couldn't believe my eyes. And the other one, I'm not gonna try to do it. I'd have to do a completely different voice, like not even a pirate, because I would want to do it in the same voice. But anyway, so the other guy goes, "No, man, I've seen the same thing too, but it's just a mirage." A what? Would you say it's a what? It's a mirage, right? That's not floating in the sky. That's impossible. That's what I saw. I saw it. Are you calling me? If you're calling me a liar, we're gonna have words and possibly cribbage. Right? People would talk and they would cancel each other out because they would reason together. The one guy would go, "It's impossible for that ship to be hull down. It's impossible for the hull of that ship to be behind water, and yet there's land beyond the ship that I can see in my line of sight." The other guy would use that. He's like, "There's no way that the earth curves at that point. Are you insane? Are you mad? Are you like," we were just given this narrative out of nowhere. Is what I'm saying making any sense to you guys out there? Because my next example is this. You just have the open ocean, and you got the two sailors on the deck of the ship. Arr, why do you think that land? Oh, excuse me. All right, why do you think that water out there ends where it does? What are you talking about? It ends where it does. You know, where the salmon-colored sky starts and the blue water ends. You see out there two different blues. Yeah, I can see that. Well, why does the water? Why can't we see more water? Like, that's the conversation. And then the other guy goes, "Well, it's because our eyes can't see that far." You know what I mean? Like, do you see how the water is rising up in the distance? Oh, what do you mean rising up? Well, if you look out straight ahead, what do you see? Well, I guess I see water. Are you looking down to see the water, or are you just looking straight ahead? Well, I, hmm, he thinks I just look ahead. If you were in the water, or if you were in a dinghy on the water, your feet would be at water level, and then your head would be 60 inches off the water. The water's below your feet. And yet, when you look out into the distance, it apparently rises. You ever been in a long hallway? Oh, yeah, sure. Lots of times. Right? That same thing happens. It's called convergence. Can you see what's at the end of the hallway? Not if it's a really long one. Why Why do you think you can't see that far? Well, maybe my eyes can't see that far. Yeah, right. So the water doesn't end. The water doesn't end because as we keep moving forward, we just see more and more and more and more and more water. We're just moving straight ahead along the same plane. Why? What were you going to do? Suggest that you thought that the earth curved? No, I'd never suggest such a asinine thing as that. That's the way conversations would have happened back in the day. You would have had the intelligent ones point out to the stupid ones how stupid their logic was. So don't be mistaken. Don't be mistaken. Someone would have argued with Al-Biruni. Someone would have argued with Aristotle. Someone would have argued with Galileo and Copernicus. Whoever wanted to suggest that our world existed in a way that didn't comport with our understanding of reality. If those conversations started, that's where they would go. But you and I aren't on that end of that story. We're at the end of our story where we're starting to rewrite the books because we're starting to question the story that we were told. We were told that the earth was a globe to begin with. And then when we asked questions as a 7-year-old, how did the people outside down stay on the how come the water doesn't come? Like a 7, the emperor's got no clothes. What? What do you say? What did that child say? I've got no what? You got no clothes on. I can see your winky. And my mom's right. It is tiny. We had
a snake oil salesman come into our village with a science book and pictures and tell us a story. And because he had a white coat or whatever, like there still would have been people in that village that would have been, so what happens when you're standing upside down? I don't get it because I can't do that. I can't stand upside. I can't stand on my wall. I can't stand on my ceiling. Where's the what? Like all of that stuff, the simple, like the simple science of it all, right? Okay, so you got these two guys. Sorry that this is the screen that you're looking at, but it is. Love me, right? You know, if I had to take the time to go back and make this as pizzazzy as I would like, it would be a really long time for me, and I don't have that kind of time. I just don't. But this is my point. If you have two guys out on the ocean looking at the ocean and saying, "Where do you think the water goes?" and you're like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "Well, look, it doesn't go any farther. It's just where like it just stops." Like, right, but don't you see how it's rising up to our eye level as it is? Apparently, that's not reality, and yet that's what it apparently looks like. Just like it apparently looks like the water ends, but it doesn't. What are you, stupid? We're sailing on the ocean right now. We're standing on water, if you can believe that. I didn't build this ship. If we wouldn't be standing on the water if it were left to me to build a ship. We would be shark meat. It'd be Shark Week. Shark Week. Okay? But we're standing on water right now. And in a dead calm, you and I are standing 90 degrees. That's what happens when water is undisturbed. But if you were now to tell me that you think that the water is at a degree away from us, then that would mean one thing and one thing only, that the water would flow like a river on a decline where there's elevation, high elevation, and lower elevation. This is the natural science. This is the discussion that would have been happening. And now all the globe flakes out there are going, "Oh yeah, but yeah, and they're just puking out all of the vomit that they've lapped up from their white coat NASA fanboy club that they go to every Thursday when mom goes and plays Canash. That's the simple response. And then the simple response to that response is, "Oh yeah, you're right. That totally is the way it is." But that's not where science went. Science went, "Oh, we can massage this. We can write these diagrams and equations and put values for these ideas that we have in our head. If this, no, 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 no. Science isn't about if. Well, it is in the hypothesis. So go ahead. Start. What's your hypothesis? How did you falsify your hypothesis? What do you mean? How did I falsify? Did you just assume you're consequent? Did you just say, if this, then this? And then you just created something that you then constructed a test that would favor in your side. So you massaged it in your favor. Did you just do that? No. Okay, great. So then how did you prove your hypothesis? Well, I just wrote this equation. I just made the, if the number, no. I want you to show me in reality. Well, I can't. Math is reality. Here's my math. That's explaining what you're seeing out there. No. Show me in reality what's on your paper. They can't do it. Ask Andrew Thomas Young to take any of his looming, sinking, stooping, towering, whatever. Ask him to take any of those ray tracing diagrams and say, "Show me that in nature." You, right now. He can't do it. This is a huge rant. Huge rant. I don't even know if I should stop. Maybe I should just stop and see what you guys think of this. because otherwise I'm just going to keep Bibling blah, 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 blah. But I think I've said some pretty good stuff here. I'm pretty happy with my rant. So this has been another exciting adventure of The Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finley. I'm burping up my dinner right now, but not like the wet burp, just a small little burps. Until next time.